Hi everyone, welcome to Hedgehog Hollow. So today we have one of our favorites, a tool review, and this is the Sizzix paper sculpting kit. We were given one at Creativation, and there's things I really love about this kit, but there's a couple of things not so much. So I wanted to investigate it together and take you through some of the things it does, what's included, and as I always say with tools, it's such a personal preference that I love to be able to share it with you and you can make your own opinions. So you get this thick foam pad. You get a thin foam mat, and then in here you have a pair of tweezers, a pair of scissors, because they just want to pop out at me, and a couple of tools. So let's kind of have a look at what's inside and whether it's right for you. So the thick foam pad is really for paper sculpting, as is this mat here. But this also works really well as like the stamper's secret weapon that has that foam pad. If you're stamping by hand with an acrylic block, this is really nice to stamp on. Now the idea of the foam is that you could have, I'm going to cut myself a very rough circle just to simulate a flower. And so you can see really nice sharp scissors. These kind of remind me of the ones from EK Success. Maybe that's where they're from, I don't know. But just, you know, really nice. They are not non-stick, which for me, you know, I love a non-stick scissor, but they do have the little cover on the ends too. So just a little pair of scissors in there. But the idea is you can take these ball tools that come in your set and you can, whoa, my cardstock is not that thin. There's a lot of resistance. So a lighter touch, but the idea is you can add some beveling and things in, just like this. So you can see, you can imagine if this was a flower, I'd be adding in some of those crease details. If you've ever used fondant and things like that, it's a very similar process. You can also just go around the edge and it will crinkle it up for you nicely. It just gives you a little bit of curl. So you can see as I'm doing this, just here, my edge is just curling up a little bit. So these are your two mats. I don't know if it actually tells you. So this is what they call a detail molding pad. This is a molding pad. So this one is for the larger areas. But say for instance, I just wanted to put in just a little detail. I can just do it on this one and it just gives me a different effect. And you'll feel it. It's one of those things that's really hard to describe in a video, but here I can just really, you know, score in those details. And I'll lift this up so you can see my very rough flower, but kind of gives you the idea. You've also got one here. There's a little point on it, which is great for making the hole in the center if you need to put something in, or you can use it as a detailed scoring tool. So what I like to sometimes do is do this, and it really does a deep score. It's not quite a cut, but it's a really nice deep fold if you need that in there. There is also one of these like quilling style tools. So if you have one of those flowers, whether it's a die that cuts it out, you know, the spiral flowers, or you just cut strips and you quill, you pop the piece in here. I'll show you again. I'm going to do a very rough piece. Just trying to think how I want to do this. So I'm just cutting a wiggly line, which is basically what these dies do, except they cut it in a spiral. But what you can then do is take your quilling piece, there's a little cut in it, you just slide your paper in and then twirl. So you can see you would twirl it and then suddenly you have a really pretty flower. So that's how that works on there. You've got 4 different sizes of ball tool, which are great for adding details. And if you've ever watched my Nouveau videos, you'll know that they are great for making really small, instant dry Nouveau drops. You can go check that video out. There's a Nouveau drop playlist on the channel. So it's also in our most watched videos. So that's really what's included. It is a fun little set. If you don't have a set like this, I think it's pretty good. The one thing that for me, I don't like are the tweezers, I have to be honest. The tweezers are ones that you have to push, and there's a lot of resistance. It takes quite a lot. They do have a nice fine point, but I just find it really hard to kind of coordinate the pushing and that. I just like a pair of tweezers that are regular tweezers. But again, it's personal preference. Some people really like these because when you've got it on your paper, it has a really strong grip. And you can see, like now, I'm not putting any pressure on and it holds shut. So again, just personal preference. I know a lot of people love these. For me, I love a Swiss tweezer, but that's what's included. You've got your molding pads, the 2 different details. You have your pairs of scissors, you've got your tweezers, your ball tool, and your, I'm not sure what the technical name for this one is. They call it a fine detail tool. So that's pretty much the only thing. So exactly as I showed you. And then you've got your quilling or quilling tool. That's exactly what they called it, that too. So there are all the different things in there. It's also at a good price point. I'll add some links below if you are interested. Don't forget to have hit subscribe, rung the bell, and of course join the channel. And give us a thumbs up if you enjoy tool reviews. I'm going to be seeing you tomorrow because I have a fun tip or trick, or maybe it's a technique, who knows. You'll find out tomorrow. So join me then and make sure you've hit that bell to get the notification for tomorrow's video too. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.